Having understood the fact that GRE is also something that MBA schools are looking forward to, something which I have said in my previous video, 500 plus schools in US, IIMs for their executive programs, for the FPS programs, ISB Hyderabad. So one of the questions that I'm sure that you ask yourself quite regularly is, should you be attempting GRE or should you be attempting GMAT? To answer that, I'm going to be looking at few parameters. The simplest of the simplest parameter which should not trouble you is of course the cost of attempting these exams. Frankly, GRE is lesser as compared to GMAT when it comes to the cost. But as I said, that should not be the criteria, because if you were to look at that, then you are probably being penny wise bet and pound foolish. What you should be looking at is the pattern of the examination. What you should be looking at is in which of the two can you score higher. What you should be looking at is which one would you give an upper hand when your application reaches the business school. If you look at the pattern of the examination, you will notice the fact that the syllabus part of it is very similar. But yes, emphasis is very different. For example, in the verbal section of the GRE, the emphasis is more on vocabulary, enhanced vocabulary. When it look at the GMAT, it is little more on the grammar side of it. So basis your strength, you could probably decide on it, but this is only the verbal section. If you look at the quantitative section, the GMAT section is considered to be trickier, is considered to be tougher. So if you are an engineer, probably you will be able to conquer the GMAT side, but if you are a non-engineer, probably GRE quant is something that you will probably find more to your liking. Now, when 2012, the change took place by ETS when it comes to the GRE, one more change that took place on the GMAT side, because GMAT didn't want to lose the race to GRE. It brought in one more section which is known as integrated reading section. It brought about one more section which is basically integrated reasoning section. So overall, if you look at the syllabus, verbal section of the GRE is considered to be tougher, quantitative section of the GMAT is considered to be tougher. You have to look at your skills to decide which of the two. But there's one more parameter. If you get 1 marks, some marks in GRE, and if you get some other marks in GMAT, which of the two would you like to send it to the college? ETS does give a way of conversion from your GREs to the GMAT. I personally, I have 1530 in the old pattern of GRE, I have 335 in the new pattern of GRE. I have 740 out of 800 in GMAT. Now, if you were to look at the scales, you will realize the fact that both of them are very similar. So which one is easier to score? In my mind, it's GRE. A good score in GRE would be a better score in GMAT. I have had many students who have attempted both and they have generally struggled in the GMAT side for a couple of reasons. As I said, our ability to remember words is much easier. Our ability to score more in quant is much easier. When it comes to grammar, the challenge is we are not talking about British grammar, which is what we Indians are exposed to. We are talking about the American grammar, which has a lot of idioms and phrases which is quite foreign to us. Second big change is, were we students of grammar? Yes. But what schools taught us was basically the definition of grammar. What is noun? What is pronoun? We didn't actually understand the foundation of grammar. No wonder, therefore, quite a few Indians who come from such a background struggle to get a good score in GMAT. Assess your strengths. Understand what benefits you have in either, and then select that will give you an edge. And if you have actually attempted one of the tests and you are not very happy with the score, don't hesitate. Attempt the other two. After all, you decide which of the two ones you can submit to the college. After all, isn't it your responsibility to improve your chances of getting an admission by strengthening the application? And one of the very important criteria is a better score, either in GRE or in GMAT.